wanted to come and have a little discussion about some things that I mentioned in my last video, and I touched base on preparing yourself for the person that you want to attract, and I wanted to speak about that and how you can get yourself to a point where your self-love is so strong, especially if you struggle with depression and things like that. The things that I'm going to mention in this video could possibly make you feel better and understand why you might feel like you're depressed or upset about something. So I wanted to touch base about preparing yourself. One of the first things, write it down if you need to. The most important thing that you will need is a notebook. Any notebook will do, okay? You need a notebook. Let's talk about the notebook, number one. You need the notebook because you want to sit down in a quiet place in your room, alone or outside in nature, whatever one you like. And you need to write down this first question. How do I feel in this present moment? How do you feel right now? The present moment is the only thing that matters. Tomorrow does not matter, and what happened yesterday does not matter. Why I say that the present moment matters now is because you can change things in the present moment. Whatever you feel right now, you have the ability to change it. Put down what you feel. How do you feel right now in this moment? Write down, I feel, maybe you feel upset or sad, and that's okay. Whatever your answer is, there's no right or wrong. Just write that question down. Now, the second question, what do you want for yourself? Do you want to change your body? Do you want to exercise more? Do you want to hang out with your friends more? What do you want? Second question is, what do you want in this moment right now? Now, the last question, number three, how are you going to get this want? Even if it's a baby step, how can you get aligned with what you want? Maybe it's go for a run if you want to change your body, or maybe it's you want to feel better, then you need to maybe go outside more, or like I said, number one question, understand how you're feeling in the moment. So things like that. And when you ask yourself those questions, that will be like your foundation, and put it on page number one. Put it on the first page in the book, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But put that on the first page in the book. Put a date on it. Whatever date it is, put a date on it, okay? Now, if you feel sad, or if you wrote down how you feel is sad, okay, that's okay. And if you wrote down how you feel is happy, that's okay. There's, like I said, there's no right or wrong. And the second reason why you need a notebook, you need it for, you're going to write down all the things that you want as if you already have it. And you're going to be specific, be very specific about what you want. And this is not about the man right now. This is self-love. This is for your own self-love. What can make you feel better? And like I said, especially if you struggle with depression, because when you write down these things, you'll start to feel better, and you'll start to feel like, I can do it. I can have all of these things. These people who are rich or like have millions of dollars, they are ordinary people like me. Make sure you say that to yourself. Don't compare yourself to anybody. That person is the same as you. Even if they have billions of dollars, they don't have more superpowers than you. You are powerful. Anything that you can create or think in your mind, you can create. Anything that you can create is good enough. Whatever makes you happy is good enough. Don't compare yourself to anybody. So on the second page, I want you to just start writing how as if you already had that thing, aka scripting. Let me find right. And be specific. I am happy every day. These are all of the things that I wrote down, and it's many, and I write down them at least once a week of what I want and things like that. And don't be afraid to ask for anything that you want, because let's say you want $1 million. If you want $1 million, put it down. You know what I mean? Don't think that, oh, that's a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much. Nothing is too much for you, baby, okay? Put it down. So if you want to be happy, I am happy every day. I have the body of my dreams. I am so kind. I am peaceful. Everybody that I meet is kind to me. You know, when I go to the store, people give me the most wonderful compliments. Write it down as if you already have it. I am, I have, I am, I have. You know, write it down as if you already had those things. And if you do want a husband or a man, write down, my husband treats me like a queen. My husband is so amazing to me. You know, or even write down a story. And I say a story because it can sound like a story. Write down what you want your morning to look like. This morning I woke up next to my husband. He looked so beautiful. When I woke up, I kissed him and went downstairs to meditate. At my feet was my dog. You know, just like write it down as if that morning has already happened. Feel those emotions, become those emotions, and it just will come to you. You know, that's the power of manifestation. And you'll start to feel better because you'll be like, I can have all of these things. And when you write them down and you feel as if you already have those things, it's like you're already aligned. And think of it as you're aligning yourself. The things that you want and that you're going to work for are already here. They're already here in this moment. You just have to walk to go get them. They are already here. You're just aligning yourself so you can be like aligned and ready for those things. Maybe right now you're not ready, and that's okay, because maybe I'm not ready for some things right now, which I'm sure I'm not, but I already know that they exist, and I'm going to go get them. I'm literally going. I'm just on vacation. They're already there in the future. Just know that, like, whatever you want is already done. So don't be discouraged. And if you're going through depression, please don't feel like you're the only one or anything like that. Many people go through depressions and things like that, and just work on yourself. Start small. And like I said, first thing you'll need is this notebook, and I already discussed why. Second thing I advise is that you watch inspirational YouTube things and take notes. Just like right now, how I asked you to take notes, or, you know, if you want to take notes, that's beautiful. Take notes of what you have learned from that video. Make sure it is aligned with what you want to have or what you want to attract, you know, things like that. And don't be afraid to write it down at nighttime. Write it down, whatever you feel, whatever you watched, whatever made you happy, whatever you thought was useful, educational. Write it down in your book. Write it down in that book, and when you feel down, go back to that book and remember what the person had said, that, you know, whatever, it's going to make you feel better, okay? Just take notes like you're a student at life. We are all students at life. So You're just a student. It's just like when you're in school, you write down what you learned, you're studying, you know. So when you do get your manifestation, you're like, I wanted this. I'm prepared right now. I'm prepared for it. So just keep your notebook at hand so you can always look back when you're feeling a little down or discouraged, because manifesting and the universe and God and his lessons can sometimes push you down a little bit, but it's only to make you stronger. And of course, you have to be tested before you can get what you want, because you have to be ready for those things. Let's say like you're bad with money, but in the future you're supposed to be a millionaire, you want to be a millionaire, but you're bad with money. You're gonna lose your $1 million before you can even hit 6 months with it. You know what I mean? So you have to be aligned with that. Now, I think this is number 3. Number 3, you need books. And if you're not a person who likes to read, type whatever educational book you want on YouTube, listen to the audio. And I highly recommend books that are about like spirituality and things like that. For example, this is called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. It's a beautiful book. And why I say spiritual books is because it's not what most people think, like, oh, they're gonna tell me to talk to some rocks or rub some rocks on my body, this, that, and no, it's basically just what I'm telling you already, but more in depth and more with like more educational knowledge and a better explanation. Like, you know, like detachment is one of the rules of least effort, things like that. And also I recommend the 4 agreements. Why I say the 4 agreements also is because once you agree to those 4 agreements that he spoke about in the book, things are like easier to align and will like just shoot to you. Like manifestation will just shoot to you, and like they work fast. And like make sure you guys meditate also, because it's very, very, very important to visualize your life in the future. You know, like I said, what you want or what you like, you know, manifesting is already here. It's already done. It's in your future. You just got to go get it. Imagine what you want that to look like. You know, maybe you want a new body. Your body is banging. You got that Coke bottle shaped, or you got big boobs, big titties, you know, big ass, whatever, good teeth, whatever. You know, like imagine yourself how you look, or maybe you want a beautiful house. You know, imagine how your house looks. Don't be afraid to draw it either in your notebook. Like I'm telling you, this notebook is the most important thing that you're gonna need. So just make sure you get the notebook. Now, and when you're feeling down, just go back to your notebook and be like, and go back to the first page. After some time, go back to the first page and look at it and say, wow, I've come a long way. Like, I do not feel that way anymore. Like, you know, and don't be afraid to do like every 6 months, like a new, like ask yourself those questions. How do I feel in this moment? How can I get to there? And, you know, how do you feel today? Like, write it down. And even if you're heartbroken, this book, I know I keep talking about the book, but the book is so important. And even if you're heartbroken, whoever broke your heart, write them a letter. Even though you know that they won't read it or you don't want to give it to them, I highly recommend you don't give it to them. Write it down, you know, write a letter to them as if you are going to give it to them. And they will, like, energy is a frequency, and energy people can feel. So even if you don't give that to him, I'm pretty sure 100% he can feel what you wrote down. And you don't need to have that unnecessary conversation. If it's done, it's done. And people always say like they want closure, things like that. I understand that it can like eat you away when you don't know like why somebody hurt you and this, that, and the third, but it's their own problem. It's not you. It's their own problem. So make sure you write a letter to them. Even I did that. I wrote a letter to them and I never gave it to them. And at one point, like, I went back through like my notebook and I just started laughing. I was like, dang, homegirl, you was heartbroken, you know, like, just now it's funny. At the time, it wasn't funny. So you'll go back and you can burn that paper after, you know, some time. If you feel like you're ready, burn it. You know, when you get to the point where you can laugh and be like, this kind of cringy, burn it, rip it up, whatever you gotta do, just rip it up or keep it just for another laugh another day, whatever. You know, the whole point of this is just like it's your diary, but it's a different kind of diary. And I haven't really heard like most people who teach about manifesting to put everything in one book, but I think for me, I think it helps because it's all in one. It's like it shows like my past, it shows the present, it shows the future, you know. And what I want to be a public speaker. I want to be a spiritual public speaker. And it doesn't even have to be spiritual, what I'm going to say. I just want to speak about life. And when I go back to my notebook, I want it to signify like who I was, who I am, and who I'm going to be. So I'm just like everybody else, you know. And I know I'm going to make it. I know I'm going to be someone great, and I can't wait for you guys to meet me there in the future. So just remember, whatever you're wishing for, whatever you're manifesting, it is already done. So don't worry about it. Don't get upset. Like, I am never upset about nothing. Like, before, the smallest little thing could happen and I'm sitting there crying in my bed all day long. Like, but now I could care less. Why? Because I have faith in the universe. I have faith in God that my stuff is already done, and so much stuff has already come to me in less than a year. You know, I had asked for many things. A new car. I got me a new car, nice ass Jeep. I asked for a new job. I wanted to be a business owner. I'm now just a business owner. So, like I said, you can do it. Go for it. And nothing that you go through is a mistake and doesn't have a meaning to it. Everything that you go through has a meaning to it. So don't be afraid or just feel like you have to regret something. Don't regret anything. Everything is a lesson. And just because, you know, something bad happened to you, something bad is also happening to somebody else, something worse. So be grateful. And also in your journal, that reminds me, also in your journal, write down what you're grateful for. And don't say you don't have a lot of things to be grateful for. You can see, right? Be grateful for your sight. You can hear, right? Be grateful for your hearing, you know, or be grateful that a little bird stopped to look at you today. Animals are a sign of like divine, you know. So any little thing you can be grateful for. And if you say you don't have nothing grateful for, there's other people battling cancer or don't even have food to eat today. So be grateful. So like I said, you need a little notebook for 1, scripting, for 2, studying, for 3, anything personal that you feel like you need to let out of your system. So that's all I wanted to say. And you'll be feeling like a whole new person in a few months. It's not going to happen in one day. Of course, nothing really. I mean, it could happen in one day. I think it took me like 2 days to feel better. So, you know, be patient with yourself and know that your manifestations are already here, and what is for you, you cannot miss out on. Nothing you can miss out on, okay? So, just know you'll be great. And tell people you're already a millionaire. I do. And another thing, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go outside in nature, whether it's for a walk, go outside, you know, feel the breeze, feel, you know, the heat, whatever. Make sure you go outside, because outside has the most beautiful energy, and it's the biggest like hug from the divine when you go outside. Whether you go outside for your hot girl walk or go outside to read your book. I know what I'm about to say sounds crazy, but go get yourself some Chick-fil-A. Find a beautiful place to sit in front of some water or in front of a tree and read your book out loud. Read your book out loud while you eat your Chick-fil-A, and see how peaceful you are and things like that. And if you're one of those people who do not like to read, like I said, you're gonna need to study, right? Use your book for educational purposes, to take notes, right? So whatever podcast you're watching on YouTube or online, whatever, sit down with your Chick-fil-A, listen to it, write down your notes, you know, be peaceful, enjoy your own company, because you have to make yourself happy before anybody else can make you happy, or anything can make you happy. You have to make you happy first. So nature is very, very, very important. So that's why my room looks like, you know, flowers, all of that, because it makes me feel like I'm getting a hug from the divine every single day. So make sure you get out in nature and know how important nature is and how wonderful it can be to you. Sometimes when you're just stuck in the house, you feel like, oh. Then when you go outside, you just start to feel better. So please, please, please go outside and enjoy your day. And whether it's once a week, once a month, whatever, just go outside and enjoy you. I hope that what I said was helpful and made you guys feel better. And I hope to see you guys in another video.